Hi guys, good morning. How's everyone doing? I'm just getting dressed. I was invited to this business professionals and networking event. I'm going to be filming when I get to the event. I would show you how the event went. Okay, see you soon. So I'm just stepping out of my house to go meet up with my friend who came to pick me up. She has no idea I'm recording. So I'm going to see her face when she sees the camera. Hi, Mr. La! So this is who invited me. Kilo Pop! It's cold, guys.
Yes, it is.
I know, we just got to the event center. Yeah, let's go see what they got for us.
Film it.
When I came to Canada and how I started my journey here in Saskatoon, so I thought I would share the same today. And if you have any questions or want to connect about any of it, I'd be happy to do so after as well. So I'm Shakya. I moved to Saskatoon, Canada 12 years ago from Sri Lanka. I moved with my family who migrated under the federal government entrepreneurship migration program. So my dad was a small business owner, or was intending to be a small business owner in Canada. That was a program requirement. My mom was a high school teacher in Sri Lanka, but she had done early retirement and then they moved here. The reason that they moved to Canada was purely just for the education of my brother and I. There was no other intent. Sri Lanka was actually post-Civil War and was doing well at the time, but my parents always knew they wanted to broaden our horizons and give us more opportunities, so they moved with us here to Canada. Lots of sacrifice, gave away their entire life that they had built everything towards all their life, and sold their home, their business. My mom retired, moved here, all just because of the two of us. So that was a big compromise that my parents did for the betterment of my brother and I. We moved to Saskatoon from Sri Lanka. We did not go anywhere else. We came straight here because my mom's brothers were living here already. And coming from Kaale to Saskatoon is quite a difference. So
I know, right?
Blue oceans to the golden prairies. It's a beautiful place, but it's cold. So it was culturally a shock for all of us as well, and weather-wise too. And when we came here, my parents, we lived with my uncle for a little bit, and my parents were looking for a business or to start a business. It was a requirement for our permanent residency here for him to purchase a business and provide employment to Canadian citizens at the time. So it was a stressful time. My brother started in high school. I started at the University of Saskatchewan Edwin School of Business. I had already completed a Bachelor of Business Administration from Edith Cowan University, so I was a transfer student. I didn't start in the first year. I started in the second year because I got a lot of transfer credits, and that was hard because people already had friends, and there were I was just entering into a new world, you know. So I didn't spend any time more than I had to in university because I felt like I wasn't a part of the people who grew up here, the friends groups, and a lot of my time outside of school. I had a part-time job at Future Shop at the time, now Best Buy, and I found my community there. That's where I built my friendships. Some of those friendships have turned in friends into family. Many of them actually work with me at Vendasa right now, and I consider them my closest friends. So I was very lucky. So I finished my Bachelor of commerce in marketing in 2014. And I also met my husband here in Saskatoon. He was also a fellow Sri Lankan. I met him at a community event. I did not know him from Sri Lanka, but we connected. We connected because we had similar backgrounds, and he had moved here 5 years before I had when he was 16. So moving as a 16-year-old isn't very easy either. So we connected, and he was also in school, so we spent a lot of time together. We basically followed similar paths. He was in engineering, I was in business, but we went to school together, worked at the same place part-time. I ran into one of his friends. We ran into one of his friends, I think at Winners in 2014, right after I graduated. And he told me about a little company called Vendasta. I had no idea what Vendasta was. He said it would be a great place to start. It was a new startup company that had less than, they probably had about 50 people at the time. I hadn't heard of them. It was a tech company, sounded very, very cool and hip. Sounded like a Silicon Valley company that was starting up in the prairies. So I was excited. I applied, and I started at Vendasta as a digital marketing agent in 2014 in November, when Vendasta was under 75 people, probably just over 50, and my division that I work today was just about 8 individuals, helping local businesses with their social and digital presence. It was a wonderful experience. So I started at Vendasta in 2014. I only came to Canada in 2011, so a lot of my growth was within Vendasta, and I found a lot of support from our leaders from there, and I really integrated into Canada with the company that I work with today. Not only that, Vendasta also had a very rapid growth in those early years. So the company that started with the 50 people today is 700 people and has a global presence. We are headquartered here in the prairies, but we do have offices in Chennai, Boston, and Florida, and lots of other employees working in different places like South America and Europe as well. So it's been great to see the company grow, not only grow in the prairies, but grow globally, which means we've had to work with a diverse workforce. It's been wonderful because I think it is a big part of the growth for the company and a big part of the growth for the leaders that are in the company, because diversity is very, very powerful, because all of the companies that are serving the customers today, their customers come in all shapes, colors, and sizes, right? So if your workforce represents your customers, I think you just do better, they're healthier, and you just make better product and service customers better. So what I used to think of as when my imposter syndrome kicked in as me being a new immigrant, or when I walk into the boardrooms and feel like the youngest person there, and oftentimes one of the few people of color, it can be very, very intimidating. You can feel that imposter syndrome, but today it is celebrated. Today it is valuable. Today businesses are in need of that. So I think it's been great to kind of turn what has been one of those negative things that I only built up in my mind, to see that being celebrated in today's world, and for us to take that opportunity. My career progressed very, very quickly within Vendasta because the company grew as well. So I moved from the digital marketing agent to a manager, and then the director of the division to now the general manager of the division and a part of the executive team for Vendasta.
That's my girl. That's my girl.
I'm the Human Resource Coordinator of the Saskatoon Public Library. And,
Can I ask just a bit about what you do, maybe?
Okay, so I coordinate recruitment of work, the recruitment process from posting the jobs, evaluating resumes, and onboarding new employees, and preparing the contracts, letters, and everything like that. So, yeah.
Awesome. Yes.
The four of us are here with Shafia from Vendasta. So my name is Claire. I actually was born and raised in Saskatoon here, and I work in product marketing in the marketing services division. And I'm Karen. I'm a senior manager of client engagement. Work very closely with all of these ladies, and yeah, been at Vendasta for about 5 years.
Hello. First of all, how this project is helping to break barriers for women, and you know, this project is focused on immigrant women, racialized immigrant women that we have in our program. So looking at our theme of connectivity and confidence and barrier breaking. So how is this project doing that? I know most of you may have had a global gathering place, but we would also look at just a short or a brief something about what we do as an organization and how we are part of this project, which by the way is a national project, and then look at what is the purpose of this project, the benefits that this project has for businesses that are partnering, and also just the benefits of having diversity and inclusivity in our businesses as well. So I'll just have to be moving this way for that. Okay, so thank you. So GGP is a nonprofit organization established in 1998, and for almost 25 years has offered settlement services to newcomers that builds comfortability and promotes participation of our clients in the Saskatoon area. So we have so many services. Our major ones, we have our English classes that we do. We have employment services. There are a lot of programs here at GGP to help newcomers settle in the Saskatoon area. And we are excited to be a part of this project. So our project has a really long name, which is the Pre-Employment and Skills Development Support for Racialized Immigrant Women. Around here, we just say the Women's Employment Readiness Program. So you hear us saying the WARE program. That is the short term we use around here. So we are one of the organizations are part of this project. So we have sisters organizations in Toronto, in Regina, and in Calgary who are also running this project as well. Promote that in the workplace. How do we, do that or contribute to that as an important aspect of our businesses? And the first one is to listen by creating a safe environment for open and respectful communication. So many, when there's a diverse workforce, there's a lot of things that come into play here. And so most of the times there can be, miscommunications and whatnot. So it is important to listen, to create a safe environment, respectful, that everybody can share their ideas, their opinions, which will be free of judgments. Also create a space for a variety of identities, and these are some of the examples that we have put there. It can be adding an elevator or stair lift, having a prayer area to have that accommodation for people. Host cultural enrichment events in attempts to increase employees' knowledge of diverse population. So one of these trainings, events can be in the form of trainings, workshop. There can be a training on unconscious bias in the workplace. Most of the times, some challenges that businesses face with diversity inclusion is all we may not have the time to do all that. But I think it's really important to have workshops and training that talk mainly about diversity inclusion.
Please.
Estela, say hello.
So it's coffee break and everybody's just networking and catching up. I'm gonna flip my camera around so you can see what's going on.
But that was because I had to work.
I see you. Say hello. Hi. Okay. I'm just gonna film what you're saying to help other people. Hi.
Oh, I gotta fix my hair.
No, your hair is good. Your hair is good.
I actually just got really lucky. This feels so weird. One of my old friends referred me to Vendasta. He thought that my creative, I guess, skills would be a good asset at Vendasta. At the time, he worked there as well. So I actually didn't know a whole lot about Vendasta applying in. I just knew that it was a full-time job, that they sold digital solutions to local businesses, and that I get to be creative and probably enjoy my time doing so. So that's why I applied. Didn't have a whole lot of knowledge of what I was getting myself into, but I've loved it. So yeah.
Nice. I know, you feel the energy, right? Yeah.
You've been there like 5 years.
Coming on 6 in May.
Oh, wow.
Being successful. I mean, now I think 5 years is it's already successful to get this kind of.
I know, right?
It's like a marriage as well. So 5 years is the first step, right?
Yeah.
So what makes you have this kind of patience?
I would say I'm like a pretty agile person. I enjoy when things change often, and Vendasta is always changing and evolving, and so it's fun to, every day is something new, and every year is something completely different. So I just enjoy kind of seeing the company evolve, and also my role because of it. So yeah, that's my favorite part.
Because I mean, that's one of the challenges when you're working. You want to make sure you're enjoying what you're doing, and then new challenges every day. Yeah, so it's good.
So yeah, part of my role as the assistant general manager, I have a staff of about 76 throughout the whole hotel, and we kind of work all as a team within the different departments. We've got our housekeeping, front desk, food and beverage, maintenance and sales. And so my job is kind of to work with each of the managers in that department to kind of get the hotel running and everything as well. Yeah, it's pretty extensive, and everything, and kind of learning, and I'm sure you know with your tourism background, kind of like focusing on the guests, but also the background of actually running a hotel. We have a huge department. Our housekeeping department is probably our biggest department with about 30 staff members, and that's where we get a lot of, because it's line level positions, it's like great for those entry level positions and just working with the hotel and with the team. And we have quite a diverse team up at the hotel at the moment. We have a lot of Ukrainian nationals, a lot of Filipinos, several Indians, everything, like pretty much everywhere. And what I love about this program specifically is the people that we get. Like, you guys have life experience. You know what you're doing. You're fully formed adults. You live.
That's a compliment. Thank you.
That's it. Like it's very different to getting those work experience kids out of school. You know, maybe it's their first job, whereas you guys, you move to a new country. That in itself is something huge. Like being able to organise that and do it. So that's kind of a little bit of what I experienced in my position and stuff. But you mentioned you're in tourism. So how long have you been in Canada now?
Is it 6 months ago?
6 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
We landed here. Actually, my job was, I was a tour leader guide for 17 years old.
Oh wow!
And I had experience of leading some Iranian in Asia and in Europe.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And even the tourists who came from other countries into Iran, I joined them and shared cities with them. So, as you know, tourism is a vast industry. It's a big one. And based on my job, I am a little bit familiar with hotel and the promotion, more or less, okay. And in hotel, the place that I was facing more than others was front desk.
Yes, yeah, that's it. When you bring in the group things, checking them in, all that kind of jazz.
Now the point was that, for example, when I told her I had customers,
So we have all these beautiful women out here networking and sharing business ideas.
So we want to know her experience, that how she is getting the job and working and works in Canada. So she told that you have to improve your education, and it is necessary to do the education at the recognized institutions, that your degree will be acceptable in the job environment. So I'm a newcomer here, so that's why I'm asking you a question about the education to get the job in the Canadian work environment. And second, she told me that volunteer work is very important, and the experience.
Good, and you're speaking to the right person.
Education plus volunteer work.
Yes.
These are the two steps are necessary to getting a job.
All our business professionals here that dedicated their time, gave up their time today to celebrate International Women's Day tomorrow, but also just to connect with our participants. So thank you so much for joining Patrick and Karen. I'm just going to come and pass out some gifts to you guys. Like to share this event or watch this again, anything. I mean, Shaki has this amazing speech we just listened to. This lovely woman here actually recorded most of the event, so you can watch it again if you would like. I don't know what your YouTube is though. Do you want
A Time with Dr. P. Yes.
We'll write it on the board.
Yes. Okay, I'll write it on the board. You can just watch it there. Thank you.
So we have the grocery end of things. We're located on the north end of the city.
So that's the owner of Safari Markets. All right, guys, we just finished from the business networking and professional event. It was really insightful. Thank you, Ms. Dale, for inviting me.
You're welcome.
And I'm going to leave all the links to subsequent events coming up on the channel. So make sure you look it up. And Ms. Dale, you want to say something?
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, subscribe. And look out for all my other videos. If you haven't, subscribe. Until I come your way again. This is Dr. P and Ms. Dele signing out. Bye-bye.